Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry there was no video last week. I was busy and I did not have the time to make one. But it looks like my Paul Thomas Anderson ranking video is actually doing some numbers. So thank you to everyone who took the time to watch that. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it when anyone watches any of my content, especially as a small content creator. So thank you if you've watched any of my content, and thank you for clicking on this video. I was having some trouble figuring out what to do for this week, but since there's been a lot of talk of awards and a lot of films are coming out, or a lot of excitement is gathering for some films coming out later this year, the awards season is starting to kick off. So today I'm going to be doing a early Oscars predictions. I'm definitely going to do some more Oscar prediction videos closer to the award show, but this will definitely be my early one where I'll see how much I get right with this far of hindsight. So just to preface, this is not what I want to be nominated. I haven't seen everything this year. There's still a whole lot of movies I really want to see that I've not gotten the chance to see yet. This is more of my prediction on what those nose-poking old Arby's-eating Oscar men are going to be voting for in March. So this is my prediction of what's going to get nominated based on how the talk has been around films that have premiered at film festivals and the hype around films that have come in theaters. So I'm going to start from like the least interesting category to the most interesting category. Alright, let's get started. So, Best Original Song is the category I'm going to start out with. I think the first one I'm going to go with is Sinners, I Lied to You. It's an incredible track. If it gets nominated, it's definitely the one that should win. But obviously, Sinners has had a lot of hype. There's no shot that Sinners wouldn't get a song nominated, especially since it has such a great original song connected to such an incredible scene that people are still talking about. My next one, I'm going to go with Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I honestly did not enjoy K-Pop Demon Hunters. I didn't even log it on Letterboxd because I didn't really finish it. But I get why a lot of the hype is around it. I get why a lot of people enjoy it. It's just not for me. So I am going to nominate Golden, which is the big song that everyone keeps talking about. And yeah, it seems to be a big one. And it's very popular. I don't think there's going to be much other original songs to come out. Next, I'm going to do two Wicked songs. I don't know the names of them, but I do know that Wicked for Good will have two new original songs that weren't in the play, and since this year seems to be starved of original songs, I think both of them are going to get nominated. And I think The Wicked is probably what is going to win one of the Wicked songs. I don't know, whichever one gets most popular after the movie releases. So yeah. And then for our fifth slot, our last slot, I really don't know what to put. There's some songs in F1, but I doubt they're all going to be nominated. I heard there might be something from Marty Supreme, but we're going to have to wait for that. Other than that, there's not really much for original song this year that's that interesting. So what I am going to put is I'm going to put Bruce Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. I think that something from it's going to be nominated. I know that it's like a bunch of old songs from Springsteen's original run, but I think usually for these musical biopics, they'd have the artist like record a new song for the credits. They did it for the Elton John biopic. There was a new song for his credits. There was a new song for the Weird Al biopic that he wrote. That was very funny, and I don't think it got nominated, but it should have. But I don't know. It's too early to tell. There's not a lot of movies out with original songs that have gotten that much hype, or original songs at all for that matter. So I'm just going to say that Bruce Springsteen's going to write a song for the credits of his biopic. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. There's been no talk around it, but at this point in the year, that's all I can say. So that's my prediction for original song. Next up, we're doing score. So score, I'm going to get the two pretty much guaranteed ones out of the way. Sinners and One Battle After Another. Two incredible scores. I think I'm slightly leaning Sinners for what I'd want to win. For what I think will win, probably One Battle. But other things that I've heard, there's been a lot of talk around the Hamnet score. So I think Hamnet is going to get nominated. I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard talk about the score, and it seems like it's possible. I'm also going to go with Marty Supreme. That movie has had a score that's been talked about a lot and extensively since it had its premiere, which went very well. People are loving it from who's seen it, and I cannot wait. So, yeah, I'm going to put Marty Supreme. And for the last score, I'm not sure. There's a few that we could go with. I think the Wicked score has a chance of being nominated. Wicked for Good. Frankenstein seems like a chance to be nominated. I enjoyed Smashing Machine's score, but I'm not sure how possible it is to be nominated. It doesn't seem like it. F1 might be nominated, but it's also highly unlikely. But I'm going to go with Wicked for Good for this one. I just think that it's the most possible. Wicked got nominated for original score last year, so I think it's possible. If not Wicked, it's probably going to be Frankenstein. Although, I don't know. Sentimental Value might have an incredible score, or I don't know, something else coming out later this year. So we'll see. But for right now, I'm doing Sinners, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Wicked for Good. Alright, Best Original Sound. So, I think Warfare is definitely going to be in there. There's been a lot of talk about Warfare being nominated for Original Sound ever since it came out. It seems like that's the only category it actually has a chance of being nominated in, and honestly, I agree. The sound of Warfare is incredible. It's my favorite part about that film. But yeah, it easily takes it since it's a highly noticeable sound, and it's interesting. I think another one that's probably going to get nominated is F1. F1 sound. F1's probably going to take all the tech awards this year, or at least get nominated for them. But yeah, sound is interesting in F1. It's not my favorite, but it's interesting. I think Sinners has a chance, so I'm going to throw it in there. I'm probably also going to throw One Battle. Sinners and One Battle are like the two top contenders this year, so they're going to get nominated for everything, whether they deserve it or not. But, yeah, I mean, I liked the sound of both of them. I think the sound plays key elements in both of those films, so I don't know. I don't mind it that much. For that last slot, it seems like Avatar, Fire and Ash is likely to get it. It seems like, again, Wicked for Good is likely to get it. I've heard some talk of Frankenstein. House of Dynamite is not out of the picture. But, honestly, the one that I think is probably going to get it, or at least get nominated, Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. It's a musical biopic, and whether it has great sound or not, it has music in it, and it's a musical biopic. They always get nominated, and because it has music, I think the Academy is going to be like, oh, music is sound, so let's nominate it, whether it has good sound or not. A Complete Unknown was nominated last year. Granted, they did all the sound live for that, so that's part of it, but I still think that Deliver Me Nowhere has the biggest chance, at least in my opinion. Alright, Best Visual Effects. Let's get the obvious out of here. Avatar, Fire and Ash is getting nominated for it, and it's probably going to win. Other one that I think is going to also get it, F1. Again, Tech Award. There's some pretty cool VFX shots in F1, and Avatar is obviously going to be breathtaking visual effects. So those two are definitely going to deserve it. One that I think is possible, Superman. I don't think Superman is going to get nominated for anything else, but it has a lot of hype, and I think the Oscars want to represent it because it has been a kind of prolific movie this year. There's been a lot of hype around it. It's one that's gotten people's butts off the couches and into cinemas. I'm going to throw Sinners in here. I think that there's a lot of noticeable VFX shots in Sinners, and since it's one of the front runners, I think it's going to be thrown in here. It has some interesting shots of VFX. Obviously, it's a big movie. Whether it deserves it or not, which I think it probably does with some of those scenes, it's going to get nominated, but the Academy loves to nominate the big ones for everything. So, yeah. And then for that last slot, I think it's probably going to be taken by Wicked for Good. That's going to be my lock, but I think other ones that it might get are maybe Fantastic Four will get it. Maybe Frankenstein will get it. I haven't seen it. I don't know how the CGI is in that. I don't know if there is much CGI in that. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else that has too much CGI in it, but yeah, that's going to be my picks. Alright, makeup and hairstyling. Again, let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Smashing Machine and Frankenstein. These are two very obvious things. Smashing Machine has some very, very great makeup in it. It's some incredible stuff. The Rock looks pretty much unnoticeable, and that was really interesting. Frankenstein, for obvious reasons, it's Del Toro. Del Toro usually gets nominated in makeup and hairstyling when he does weird monster creatures. So, yeah, there's gonna be some weird monster creature stuff. I think the other one that's almost a lock, Wicked for Good. They painted her green. They did it last year. They're probably gonna do it this year. The last two, I think are a little bit up for debate, but I think I'm gonna go with Sinners and 28 Years Later. 28 Years Later obviously had all the zombie stuff. I'm not sure about that one. I think Sinners I'm more sure about. Obviously Sinners for all the vampire stuff. And again, as I said, it's one of the leading movies at the Oscars. But I think also 28 Years Later, I don't think it's gonna get nominated for anything else, but I think it's possible here. Alright, costume design. It seems like the frontrunner for this category is Frankenstein, so I'm gonna go Frankenstein. Obviously, Del Toro, there's gonna be a lot of great costumes in that. It's Frankenstein. It's pretty obvious why. I think also another big frontrunner, Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good, interesting costumes. It got it last year, it won it last year, and I think it's probably gonna get it again. Especially because we're bringing in like the Tin Man and all of those classic characters, so we're gonna have to do costumes for that. I'm thinking Hamnet, honestly. Hamnet is also like the third frontrunner. I think One Battle and Sinners are like the top of the Oscars this year, but if you had to pick a number 3, it's definitely Hamnet. Hamnet's probably getting costume design. What else? Sinners, probably. Again, period piece, so they love doing it to that. And frontrunner. And then for that last slot, again, I'm not sure. But I think the big picks for me, it's either going to be Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. They nominated Complete Unknown for costume design last year, and I think that it's a good chance that they'll nominate Deliver Me Nowhere this year. Again, period piece, music biopic, they love nominating those. I think Marty Supreme has a chance. I think it just depends which movie has more hype around it, Marty Supreme or Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. I'm going to lock in Deliver Me Nowhere, Springsteen. Marty Supreme has a chance. I think the other one that has a chance is Kiss of a Spider Woman, but that one is quickly losing hype. I haven't seen it, but there's not a lot of people talking about it. And that's going to be my locks. Alright, production design. It's going to be similar to costume design. Probably going to put Frankenstein there. Going to put Sinners there. Going to put Wicked for Good there. Again, for all the same reasons. Wicked got nominated for production design last year. It won. Sinners and Frankenstein, period pieces with weird creatures and some great production design. I think Hamnet probably also, again, third front runner, has some good stuff in there. For what else? Ooh, this last spot is, I think, one of the most mysterious ones. I think Marty Supreme has a chance, although I'm not sure if that has some of the best production design in the world. I mean, it's not noticeable from the trailer, but we'll wait to see. I'll always be hoping for Anderson, Phoenician Scheme. Obviously should be nominated, but it's not going to. I think Fantastic Four maybe has a chance just because of the retro future aspect of it. I mean, that got a lot of hype around it when the film was coming out, and I admit it looks cool. Testament of Ann Lee, I think, is possible here. I think Avatar is possible here, and I also think Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere, because, again, period piece. I think what I'm going to put here is I'm going to put Testament of Ann Lee. That one is another kind of bigger one for the Oscars this year, and so, yeah, that's what I'm going to put, those 5. Editing. So, I'm going to put, obviously, the frontrunners. One Battle, Sinners. The 2 big Best Picture frontrunners, or usually the big Best Picture frontrunners nominated for everything, but it's these 2 this year, so I'm going to put those 2. I'm going to put House of Dynamite here. I know it's been getting some negative reception, but I still think it has a chance. So, yeah, I'm putting House of Dynamite right there. Marty Supreme. Again, it has some hype. It's a Josh Safdie project, so I hope it has some interesting editing. I think if you're considering other Safdie stuff, I think Smashing Machine has a chance, although not the biggest one in the world. I think Wicked has a chance for editing. Sentimental Value seems to have a chance for editing. But my last one I'm going to put is Hamnet. Again, another big frontrunner. So I think that's going to be my choices. Cinematography. So again, Sinners, One Battle. We're putting those two. But this one seems to have a lot of movies that could be nominated. I think 28 Years has a chance. I think F1 has a chance. But I'm going to put Hamnet. Frankenstein also has a chance. Begonia is one I haven't mentioned this entire video, but that also has a chance. But I think I'm going to do Frankenstein next. And probably also Marty Supreme. I think Josh Safdie is going to pull off some interesting camera work in Marty Supreme. And since the bigger Safdie brother this year, yeah. And Frankenstein, it's Del Toro. There's going to be some cool stuff in there. Already looks cool from the trailer. Alright, animated feature. So this is going to be one that's a little bit different, because this one is weird. Definitely K-pop Demon Hunters. That's the front runner. That's the one that's probably going to win. Zootopia 2 is probably also going to get nominated here. It's Disney. They always get nominated. And speaking of Disney, Pixar always gets nominated with Elio. I think that's going to be there. I think Ninja 2, it's had a lot of hype. I don't know, I didn't really like Ninja 2, but it's had a lot of hype, and it's foreign. So, I think so. And, for the last one, I have no idea, because that's from what I can think of on the top of my head. Oh yeah, Arco, there's that. It's premiering at some film festivals, and it got some good hype around it, so I'm gonna put that there. Alright, that's animated feature. Then there's documentary feature. This one is one I truly have no idea about. Usually the documentaries are coming out later in the year. So, I have no idea. There's some ones that I've heard about. I'll show them on screen. But, I think I'm going to skip this category. Other ones I'm going to talk about, John Candy, I Like Me, is getting a lot of hype right now, so I think it has a chance. But, yeah. I'm putting on screen the big top choices that people are predicting. But for right now, I think I'm just going to skip this category. Alright. International feature. So, let's get the bigs out of the way. Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value is the one international feature that's going to get nominated for Best Picture this year. I don't think they're going to nominate more than one, even though there's a lot of kind of notable ones, but I think Sentimental Value is the front runner, and it's the one that's probably going to win, because it's not going to win Best Picture, but it's nominated for Best Picture, or it's going to be, and yeah, I think it's going to get it. It Was Just an Accident won the Palme d'Or. Whatever wins the Palme d'Or usually shows up at the Oscars, and It Was Just an Accident is a foreign language feature, and it's not going to be Best Picture, so I think it's definitely going to be international feature. The Secret Agent, that one has a lot of hype around the Best Actor role, but other than that, I don't think it's going to be nominated for anything else, so I think Secret Agent has it here. The Voice of Hindi Rajab, it's very topical. It's gotten a lot of hype around awards. So yeah, those are the four. And I think the fifth one will be Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice. I think No Other Choice will probably mostly be snubbed this year. That's what it seems like. But I think this will be the way for it to weasel itself into the Oscars. Casting is the new category this year, and I truly have no idea about it. So I'm gonna put just the front runners here. Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Wicked for Good. That's what I'm predicting. Those are the big front runners of the Oscars this year. Those are the ones that get nominated for most things, and that's what I'm gonna put. Adapted screenplay. One Battle's the one leading this category. It's definitely gonna get it. But yeah, I mean, One Battle's a great screenplay. Hamnet, another front runner, probably also gonna get nominated. I think One Battle's probably the one that's gonna win it. I think Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. It's a musical biopic. They got nominated for something, and A Complete Unknown got nominated for screenplay last year. I'm gonna go with Begonia. Well, Lanthimos is probably gonna have a bigger representation at the Oscars this year. It seems like Begonia is getting a lot of hype, and it seems like people are really liking it. It's not as divisive as Kinds of Kindness, so I'm enjoying that. For that last spot, that's one that's slightly under contention. Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out movie, definitely seems like it's likely to get it. But also, Wicked for Good is likely there. It seems like Frankenstein is likely. And maybe No Other Choice will be there as well. But I think I'm going to go with Frankenstein. Original screenplay. We're going to put Sinners there. And we're going to put Sentimental Value. Sentimental Value, I don't think is going to win this. But Sentimental Value has a good chance. But yeah, they want to nominate at least a foreign film here, and I think that works. I'm going to also go Marty Supreme. I think another big one. I think I'm going to pick Jay Kelly. Baumbach usually gets screenplay, and it's Baumbach, so it's probably going to be a good screenplay. For this last spot, another big contested one. House of Dynamite has a chance. It Was Just an Accident has a chance. Is This Thing On has a chance, and Sorry Baby. But for this last spot, I think I'm going to go with Is This Thing On? It's going to be probably a very talkative film. It's going to be something everyone likes. Bradley Cooper, I don't know, I'm excited for it. It looks interesting, but I think it has a chance for screenplay. Alright, now we're in the big heavy hitters. Supporting actor. Alright, Sean Penn. I mean, he's incredible. He's the one I'm going for. And, yeah, I really, really loved him in One Battle. But, yeah, he's going to get all the roses this year for Best Supporting Actor. I think he's also going to be the frontrunner. Stellan Skarsgård is getting a lot of hype for Sentimental Value. And I think it's possible for him to get nominated. He probably is going to. Paul Mescal for Hamnet. Hamnet is, again, big frontrunner. And, it seems like there's a lot of hype around that movie, and especially a lot of hype around his performance. So, we'll see. For this last two spots, there might be some interesting stuff. But, I think Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly, there seems to be hype around him. And, yeah, I would love to see Sandler nominated at the Oscars. Sandler at the Oscars would be great. Now, this last spot, something that I'm thinking, well, we could do Benicio del Toro from One Battle. He was great. Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein. Miles Caton from Sinners. I mean, he's probably who I would pick to put here. Someone from Wicked for Good? I can't remember who, but one of them. Jonathan Bailey. Delroy Lindo from Sinners. And Jeremy Strong from Springsteen Deliver Me Nowhere. I'm not sure, but I'm doing Jeremy Strong, Springsteen Deliver Me Nowhere. I think Sinners is going to get nominated more in the actor and actress category, and I think they're going to want to represent Deliver Me Nowhere, and I think it's Jeremy Strong is going to give a pretty good performance, and you know, they love representing those music biopics. Supporting actress. Alright, Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another. Even though that's not who I would nominate from One Battle After Another, God, I would give my life for them to nominate Chase Infinity. She was so incredible in One Battle. I cannot praise her performance enough. But Tiana Taylor, also incredible in One Battle, but not my favorite female performance from that, or female supporting performance. So, I'm going to give it to Tiana Taylor. I think Elle Fanning from Sentimental Value. There are two actresses from Sentimental Value up for the Oscar, but I think Elle Fanning, the one with the American name, is the one that's going to get nominated. Ariana Grande, probably Wicked for Good. She seems pretty big for that too. And then these last two for supporting actress. I'm going with Gwyneth Paltrow, Marty Supreme. They're probably going to want to represent Marty Supreme here. And for that last spot, Amy Madigan for Weapons might be nominated. Emily Blunt for Smashing Machine. Regina Hall. I think I'm going to go with, personally, Emily Blunt from Smashing Machine. I think she has the performance that the Oscars would enjoy. But, yeah, that's supporting actress. Okay, best actor. This is one of the big ones. And I'm going to get the obviouses out of the way. Leo and Timmy. I think Timmy's going to get it. I think this might be Timmy's year to get the Oscar. But these two are the front runners. I don't think that's going to change. I think Leo gave a strong enough performance that it's going to live until we get the nominations, and Timmy has a lot of hype around his performance. I think the other one that's obvious, Jeremy Allen White, Springsteen, Deliver Me Nowhere. They always nominate these musical biopics, and I don't think he's going to give a bad performance. He looks like he is jumping around and walking around and doing angry things and doing happy things in the trailer. He's definitely got the voice down from what I heard in the trailer, so I'm excited to see his performance. That's probably going to be one of the highlights of that film. Another one we have to get off the table, Michael B. Jordan from Sinners. I mean, he's incredible. Ever since that movie came out, it was pretty much, he was guaranteed a spot. Alright, last spot. This one is more contested. Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent is highly contested to get it. There's a lot of praise around his performance and a lot of want for him to get it. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson from The Smashing Machine is also very possible. Jesse Plemons from Begonia. I mean, he might blow us away. He hasn't come out yet. Daniel Day-Lewis for Anemone. That one's less likely, but it's Daniel Day-Lewis. Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon has a lot of praise around him, but I think that one's going to fall by the wayside. But I think the other big contender is George Clooney for Jay Kelly. Although I think George Clooney and Jesse Plemons are just going to miss it. I think it's between Wagner Moura and Dwayne Johnson for this. And I think because the Oscars wants to give it to the foreign stuff, I think they're going to go towards Wagner Moura. But Dwayne Johnson is also very, very possible. But that's my prediction. Alright, actress. I'm going to do Emma Stone for Begonia. She has some big hype around her. I'm also going to do Cynthia Erivo. Both actors have some big hype around them. Cynthia Erivo, almost guaranteed. Same with Emma Stone. I'm going to do Renee Redzepi. I hope I pronounced that correct, but Sentimental Value. A lot of big stuff for that. And then for these last few, there's some interesting stuff. Amanda Seyfried has a chance from Testament of Anne Lee. Rose Byrne has been getting a lot of hype for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, because Hamnet is a frontrunner. What else? That last one. Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love might get it. Sydney Sweeney for whatever. There's a chance that Sydney Sweeney and The Rock will both get nominated for Oscars this year. And that is not something that I'm looking forward to. But I'm going to give this last one to, I think between everyone, it's between Amanda Seyfried and Rose Byrne. And right now, there's a lot of hype around Rose Byrne. I think she's going to get it. But we'll see. Alright, director. So, I'm going to get the two big ones out of the way. Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. He's probably going to get it. I hope he does. That movie was directed the fuck out of. I love PTA. He needs that Oscar. Ryan Coogler for Sinners. He's the other big one. Another fucking greatly directed film. And I think those two are definitely going to show up here. 3. Chloe Zhao, Hamnet. Hamnet's a big frontrunner. Hamnet looks interesting. Chloe Zhao's a great director. Let's see if she can pick herself up after Eternals. Last two. I'm giving one to Josh Safdie from Marty Supreme. I think for that last spot, another one that I'm not sure about, Jacques Trier for Sentimental Value is definitely possible. I think Catherine Bigelow for House of Dynamite, although it seems less possible after that movie's getting mixed reviews. I think it's probably only going to get editing. Yorgos Lanthimos for Begonia. I don't think we should doubt Lanthimos. John M. Chu for Wicked for Good. But I think I'm giving it to Jacques Trier for Sentimental Value. I mean, it's a big frontrunner. They'd like to do some foreign directors, and Sentimental Value seems like it's going to be interesting. So, we'll see. Alright, here we are. Best Picture. Okay, so here are my predictions, because I have some interesting ones. One Battle, Sinners, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme. Those 5 are definitely going to be there. Those are all the frontrunners. Those are the ones that I've seen show up again and again throughout it, and I think those are going to get it. Wicked for Good is probably going to be there. That's going to be my 6th option. I'm going to do Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, music biopic. I'm going to do Frankenstein. I'm going to do J. Kelly. And for that last spot, it could be Begonia. It could be It Was Just an Accident. It could be Avatar, Fire and Ash. It could be The Secret Agent. It could be Is This Thing On? Whew. I'm not sure. This one is interesting. I think my 3 frontrunners, like the 3 big ones that could get it, I don't think they're going to nominate another foreign film, so I think It's Just an Accident is probably going to fall by the wayside. But I think Begonia is going to be big, Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Is This Thing On? Begonia is getting a lot of hype right now. That hype might live till they do the Oscar nominations. But Is This Thing On and Avatar both come out in December, right near when they're doing the Oscar nominations. The hype around those are gonna be big, and they're gonna be recent. So I think Begonia is gonna have to drop here, and it's between Avatar and Is This Thing On? Now, Avatar is definitely gonna be nominated for a bunch of the big tech awards. We've already gone through that. And Avatar is gonna be this big epic. And then Is This Thing On is Bradley Cooper. It's gonna be this smaller comedy. Now, we don't really have something like Avatar nominated in my big picture right now. But J. Kelly's another smaller comedy, just like Is This Thing On? So J. Kelly might be the comedy for this year. And Avatar is this big epic. But I'm not sure. Whew. I am just going to edge it to Avatar, Fire and Ash, but I would not be surprised to see Is This Thing On there. I think Is This Thing On has a big chance to be there, especially since it's coming out in December, and I would not be surprised if Avatar was just seen as more of a kids blockbuster movie and nominated for more tech awards. But for right now, as it's looking, I'm gonna put Avatar, Fire and Ash there. Alright. And that is my pick for the Oscars. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year for sure. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to do more predictions as we get closer to the Oscars. Some of these movies might lose steam, might lose traction. Wicked for Good is big right now, but it might be disappointing, and because the last one was nominated for so much, it might lose traction. Is This Thing On might gain more traction, you know? House of Dynamite might completely fall off. I know I predicted it for something, but House of Dynamite, because of its mixed reviews, might completely fall off. Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere might not be as big as I think it's going to be. And It Was Just an Accident might also gain more traction. Same with No Other Choice. But for right now, these are my early predictions. They're definitely going to change, and I think things are going to change as more movies get more hype, more politics start getting into it. And so yeah, that is my predictions. Thank you so much for watching, and please tell me how you like my videos. Tell me anything I can do to improve, and tell me what you think I should do for my next video, or other video ideas you'd love to see from me. I'll see you guys next week.